Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. Hosted by Jonathan Frakes. Tonight, your challenge is to separate what is true from what is false. 5 stories, some real, some fake. Can you judge which are fact and which are fiction? To find out, you must enter a world of both truth and deception. A world that is beyond belief.
They come in strips, sticks, tubes, and kits. They inform you with dots, streaks, colors, and symbols. Today's home pregnancy tests are available everywhere and can be purchased right alongside the beer and potato chips. In fact, these modern versions are said to be over 99% accurate. Yet 1 percentage point still leaves room for doubt. Take 18-year-old Marissa Baker. Her body is starting to feel different these days. But whether she's pregnant or not will soon be put to a terrifying test.
This is our home in Del Mar, California. Until that terrifying summer, it was quiet and peaceful. Our daughter Marissa had just graduated from high school that June. She was starting college in the fall, but until then, she was determined to have the summer of her young life. My husband Glenn and I were beginning to suspect that she had gotten herself into a bad situation. Marissa, what's wrong?
It's her stomach again, isn't it? This has been going on for 3 weeks now. It can't be the flu.
Glenn, we both know what it is. We just don't want to face it. Marissa's been spending a lot of time with Jason. Maybe they messed up. It could be morning sickness.
We're going to have to talk with her. I know she doesn't want to talk to us about anything, but she's going to have to talk to us about this.
Glenn, let me do it. You're getting upset.
All right. You talk to her.
Marissa? Sweetie?
I'm not pregnant. Why can't you believe me?
It's just that all the symptoms are there. Now, your father and I are trying to figure this whole thing out, and it's something to explore.
There's nothing to explore, okay? It's no big deal. I got some kind of flu bug or something, but I'm feeling better now. I'm sure it's going away.
Marissa, we just want you to know that we're here for you. If there's anything you want to talk about...
There's nothing to talk about, Mom. I'm not pregnant.
Marissa had always watched her figure. Now, her waistline was out of control.
What is happening to me?
There is no other explanation, Marissa. You must be pregnant. So let's move out of denial and into reality. You and Jason made a mistake.
I know what it must look like, but it's impossible. I never had sex with Jason or anyone, I swear.
We want to believe you, Marissa. But...
Oh, you can give me a home pregnancy test. That'll prove I'm telling the truth.
Well, according to this, you're not pregnant.
She's not.
Oh, what's wrong?
Something moved.
Well, there's definitely something there.
What do you think it is, Dr. Saperstein?
I don't want to alarm you, but it looks like a large cyst. It's just such an odd shape. I've never seen anything like it before.
Cyst? What about the movement I was feeling?
Oh, that was probably a muscle spasm or some gas.
It wasn't a muscle spasm. Or gas.
Marissa, the test came back negative. You're not pregnant.
What about this tumor or cyst or whatever it is? What do we do about it?
Well, I recommend that we go in and remove it as quickly as possible.
Mom, is she going to be all right?
Marissa's a strong young woman. Whatever it is, recovery will be quick. We good to go? Okay. Scalpel. Sponge it, please. All right, follow me. Great suction. Thank you. Doing great. Let me get the retractors in here. We're in. All right. Let's get the clamps in there. Here we go. Doing great. Let's see now. Let's find this. All right, give me some room. There it is. Scalpel. Whoa, that's strange. It feels like it's moving. Oh, my God.
Doctor, what is it?
Oh, my God. It's a baby octopus.
The doctors came up with the only explanation that made sense. Marissa had been spending a lot of time swimming in the ocean that summer. She must have swallowed a fertilized octopus egg, and her body provided the incubator for its development. Our daughter is fully recovered now, but we'll never get the nightmare out of our minds.
The story you've just seen was suppressed for years and is still denied by the medical community. But let's be clear about one thing. No one is claiming that Marissa gave birth to an octopus, only that one was surgically removed from inside her body. Despite the contradictions and cover-ups by those involved, can this really be possible? Can a fertilized octopus egg ingested into the human system actually grow inside the body? Certainly other organisms can. Parasites such as tapeworms have grown to enormous size inside their human hosts. Do you accept this tale of an octopus who lived inside a human being as true? Or is there something fishy going on here?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a real estate agent sells a house with a curse on beyond belief, fact or fiction.
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become? You see their names and faces on billboards, on benches, and in every Sunday newspaper. Is it any wonder with star treatment like this that many real estate agents begin to act like stars themselves? Bev Conklin is a true star in the real estate world. To see her fast-talking, charming spiel is like witnessing a high-wire act. But in this case, Bev isn't working without a net. She's working without a conscience.
I'd never met a woman like Bev Conklin before. I wish I never had. Bev was the #1 real estate agent on the East Coast. She could sell anything, except Hampton Manor. I didn't know it at the time, but the manor was cursed. All 5 previous owners had met with horrible misfortune. By the time I started house hunting, Hampton Manor was up for sale again. My wife and I were fresh from the city. To Bev, we must have looked like hors d'oeuvres on a tray, ready to be devoured. As we closed the deal on Hampton Manor, Bev never mentioned any curse.
Martha and I have been wanting to move out of Manhattan for years, but we just couldn't find the right house.
Well, you certainly found it in Hampton Manor, Don.
I can't get over the fabulous deal you got us, Bev.
I keep thinking there has to be something wrong with the old place, but the inspection checked out fine.
Of course it did. Bev Conklin only sells the best. I envy you both. I just wish I could afford a home like Hampton Manor. Will you invite me over once in a while for a cup of coffee so I can drool?
You got a deal, Bev.
Congratulations. Bye, Don. Bye, Martha. Bye-bye. Drive safe now. Yes. 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 You did it. What? What is it?
I just can't believe you didn't tell those people about the curse of Hampton Manor.
Oh, give me a break, Gina. Really. There's no such thing as a cursed house. So those other owners had some bad luck. It happens. It's not my fault.
I just think you should have said something.
There's nothing in the real estate code of ethics that says anything about divulging dumb superstitions to potential buyers.
I would have told them about the curse.
Curse smirched. It's a sale. Now, you watch. The Mackles are going to love that place. I bet I get a lot of referrals from that couple.
I didn't see Bev Conklin again for almost 6 months. But by this time, things were very different.
Who's that sitting at my desk?
That's Mr. Mackle.
Who?
The one that you sold Hampton Manor to. Remember?
Oh, the rich stockbroker. He certainly looked better. Okay. Oh, Mr. Mackle, what are you doing here? In the market for a summer home, perhaps? Something on the Cape? Oh, my. What happened to you?
Ever since I took ownership of Hampton Manor, my life has gone to ruin. All my stocks and bonds collapsed. My clients abandoned me. My wife left me for another man. And I've developed a bleeding ulcer that causes me constant pain.
That's all very sad. But what is it you want of me?
I finally learned from the neighbors about the curse of Hampton Manor.
Oh, that, really?
Why didn't you tell me about it before you sold it to me?
That was not my responsibility. Now, honestly, Mr. Mackle, you can't blame your bad luck on me. A house is a house. There is no such thing as a curse.
I want the manor sold immediately.
Oh, well, if you want me to represent you as your agent, that's different. Of course, you understand it's going to take a while to find a buyer. I mean, that is a very special house.
No! It has to be done today, immediately.
Oh, my God, you must be kidding. I can't find a buyer today.
If I own that house a moment longer, I know I'll die.
Well, if you'd let it go for $300,000, I'd be glad to take it off your hands today.
But that's less than half of what I paid for it.
I know.
All right. All right. It's a deal.
Oh, Don. And you are going to be so happy because I'm going to save you so much time in escrow. I can do it all right here.
I signed over the deed, making Bev Conklin the owner of Hampton Manor. She was only too happy to take it off my hands. But then again, she didn't believe in curses. I never saw Bev again, but her assistant, Gina, who definitely believed in the curse, told me the rest of the story.
The place is fabulous. I may never sell it. The bathroom alone is worth the price of the mortgage. Oh, now I wish I was still dating Reggie. Such a nice big tub.
Bev, don't you feel weird about poor Mr. Mackel?
Why should I? He's completely nuts. The place is great.
Aren't you scared?
I told you, I haven't had one single problem. No, not whatsoever.
That's great.
Oh, you stop already. There is no curse.
Well, I hope you're right, Bev. You know, you're the son of owner from the so if there is some sort of curse, 7 is a lucky number. Maybe that will break the chain. Bev? Are you all right? Bev? Bev?
Did Hampton Manor really have a curse? Or was Bev Conklin just a victim of bad luck? But then how do you explain the misfortune of every other owner of the property? Could they all just have been unlucky people? Oh, here's something else to ponder. We've changed the name and location of Hampton Manor for story purposes, but the home we based it on had a similar curse. In fact, a very wealthy couple bought it in the early 80s. At the time, they scoffed at the curse, and why not? They owned hotels, skyscrapers, and businesses all over the world. Within a short time after moving into their new home, their empire crumbled and dissolved. Their names, Harry and Leona Helmsley.
We'll tell you whether this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a beheading in a wax museum on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Of all the instruments of capital punishment, surely the most fiendish is the guillotine. The sentenced prisoner would place his or her head here, affectionately known as the chopping block, and then a blade, sharpened so fine it could slice a human hair in half, would be released by the executioner. The result? A dramatic slice of life. Of course, the guillotine has been out of fashion for a while, but its legend is still with us. Pierre Saint-Jacques is a student of history. As a creator of wax figures, he has to be. His latest project is the beheading of French monarch Marie Antoinette, and he's praying history does not repeat itself. The world-famous Le Font Wax Museum is considered by connoisseurs to be one of the finest of its kind. Whether they're duplicating movie sets or famous moments from history, the attention to detail is legendary, down to the last bolt. The creative force behind the success of the Le Font wax exhibits was wax sculptor Pierre Saint-Jacques. Pierre was not only a genius at his work, he was an absolute perfectionist. He was so obsessive and demanding that the only one who could tolerate his high-strung behavior was his loyal brother, André. Together, they have prepared the precise details for the newest masterpiece in Pierre's acclaimed career, the beheading of Marie Antoinette.
Pierre. What? Oh, finally, it's arrived. This is the exact duplicate of the blade that separated poor Marie Antoinette's head from her body.
Do you really think the public cares if it's real or not?
I care, and that's all that matters.
Pierre's outbursts were familiar to André. He dismissed them as the necessary release of an artistic temperament. Besides, Pierre was the one with the talent, so Andre chose to tolerate his behavior.
Andre? Andre! Why did you put the executioner in position so soon? I don't want him here yet.
I didn't. The last time I looked, he was back there.
Well, someone moved him here.
Pierre, if I did move him, wouldn't there be footprints in the dirt? Can't you see? The surface is perfectly smooth.
Oh, I can't be bothered with this now. Did you ever think you would become immortal, Mary? This how it looked? How it felt? How close did I come? And what was going through your head those last few moments?
Pierre, are you all right?
I think so. It all happened so quickly.
Look.
Someone is pulling a prank.
Maybe they're still inside the museum.
Pierre and Andre searched the entire museum but could find no one else there. The doors were still bolted from the inside, so nobody could have left. The brothers agreed that it must have been a freak accident and went on with their work. They wanted to put their fear aside that somehow the wax executioner could be possessed of an evil spirit.
It's a great opening.
Yes.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you. It's everything I dreamed it would be. Did you hear the comments about how realistic the exhibits are? Especially my Marie Antoinette.
Yes, Pierre, I heard the comments.
Perhaps now, finally, you understand the importance of my perfectionism.
Perhaps.
Can you imagine how horrible that must have been to have your head chopped off?
I think it's kind of cool. I wonder what they did with all the heads.
That's so sick.
You know what would be the bomb?
What?
A picture with your head in that guillotine.
Are you crazy?
Come on, Chrissy. I've got 2 shots left on the roll. It's not like it's real. It's all wax.
Well, why me? What are you doing?
Because it's got to be a girl. We're recreating the beheading of Marie Antoinette. Come on, it'll be so cool.
Okay, but let me know if somebody's coming.
Okay. Kneel down and put your head on the block.
This is too weird. Take the picture.
Wait a minute. I can't get everything in.
Dave, will you just take the picture?
Okay, but it's not going to work unless you look more scared.
Hurry up!
Chrissy!
Are you okay?
I was afraid there might be another accident, so I replaced the real blade with one made of balsa wood.
Thank you, Andre. Now I suggest we will place the executioner.
Did this story really happen? Or was it merely overworked imaginations that made the 2 men begin to see things in their own exhibit? And why were there no footprints showing the executioner had moved? Was there a demented villain working behind the scenes? Or perhaps there are no explanations to be found in the real world? Will this story of the wax figure withstand the lasting test of truth? Or when all is said and done, will it simply melt away?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a hospital becomes a bloody nightmare on Beyond Belief, fact or fiction.
To many seriously ill people, these bags mean life itself. The steady drip, drip, drip of these life-giving liquids provide the beat of life for patients in critical condition. But cut off that nourishment, and the beat goes off. Nurse Gwen Buckbinder is used to patients who need nourishment to survive. But a new patient has just checked onto her floor, and his medical needs are about to go off the chart.
I've been working the midnight to 7 shift at St. Francis County for the past 5 years. I'd seen a lot of strange cases, but nothing prepared me for what came in late one night. It was just another John Doe, but this one was suffering from severe malnutrition and acute anemia. He was so far gone I didn't think he was going to make it. He refused all solid food and was being sustained on glucose IVs and blood plasma transfers, but now only 24 hours later, his vitals were remarkably up. It looked like he was going to pull through. If you eat some solid food, you'd recover a lot quicker, you know. No appetite yet? Huh? If you need anything, just push a button. I'm on till 7. The following night, I was on my rounds when I thought I heard voices coming from inside room 621. It was 2 in the morning, long past visiting hours. Who are you? And what are you doing here?
Oh, they are the Kanes. They are here to see Eric.
Eric?
His name is Eric Creighton. He did odd jobs for us around the house. We became worried last week when he did not show up. So we went to police. They sent us here.
Please leave. I want to spend some time with my friends. Alone.
It is way past visiting hours.
I'm sorry. They were not aware. Please, give us some time. Alone.
All right. I will break the rules, but just this once.
Thank you, my dear.
So now I knew the John Doe's name, Eric Creighton. But what was really going on in room 621? It seemed like more than just a visit from a couple of old friends. And what was that creepy old man doing in the bathroom? Excuse me. Excuse me? Could you hold 1 second, please? I was determined to get to the bottom of this. But I had every right to check that bathroom. This was the safest time to do it without causing an incident. This patient definitely had me scared.
What do you want?
I didn't mean to disturb you. I was just looking for dirty gowns.
They've already been picked up. Now please leave my room.
I came in early the next night. I just couldn't get Eric Creighton out of my mind. Who was he? Or more importantly...
Hey, Gwen.
What was he?
Did you hear about last night? Somebody ripped off 200 bags of plasma from the blood bank.
What?
Weird, ain't it?
Yeah, real weird. Chuck, do me a favor. Take 621 down to X-ray and keep him there a while.
What's up?
Just do it for me. I'll tell you later.
All right. 1 X-ray coming up. Don't worry, it won't hurt a bit.
Oh my God. What are they doing?
I told you to stay away!
What did you do to him?
Stay away from me! Hospital officials kept my story a secret. They didn't want their hospital associated with vampires. And then it hit me. Maybe Eric wasn't a vampire. Maybe his goal all along was to steal blood and sell it illegally. By pretending to be a vampire, he knew his crime would go unreported. I guess I'll never know.
What really happened here? Did the patient in room 621 really need to drink blood to survive? Vampire stories have been with us for centuries, and there are recorded ceremonies in which certain tribes and cults actually drink human blood. But perhaps the explanation is more worldly. Perhaps Eric and his cohorts were clever thieves who wanted to give the impression of being vampires so their activities would go unreported. But then again, how was it that Eric survived a 6-story drop, never to be found? Is this vampire tale based on an actual event, or are we just trying to suck you in?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a deadly game of chance on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
In the heyday of the touring carnivals, prize booths were big moneymakers for the Barkers on the Midway. While many carnivals ran ethical games of chance, others stacked the odds in their own favor. For example, the points of these darts are left purposely dull. The balloons, underinflated, making them much more difficult to break. These milk bottles make a tempting target. Knock 3 over, win a prize. It looks very easy, until you learn that they're weighted on the bottom. Big Ralph Zabriskie ran a crooked booth at a carnival for 20 years. He came from a long line of cheaters, and he was very good at what he did. But as Ralph is about to learn, no matter how skilled the con man, you can't cheat fate. Big Ralph's traveling carnival looked like a place devoted to fun, but it had a wicked underbelly. Big Ralph, an ex-con who had committed everything from grand larceny to murder, was hiding out here from the law. And while he planned his next major crime, he spent his time running the carnival and cheating little children.
Close one. You're good, little girl. I almost lost one of my stuffed pals. Another dollar, another ring, another chance. What do you say?
Big Ralph knew that the hoops were about the same size as the cans, so the ring one was next to impossible.
Oh, too bad. You got any more money, sweetie? Then beat it, kid. You're taking up space. Step right up. Win a beautiful stuffed animal for just $1.
Wait just a minute.
Step right up. Girl, what do you say, Pop? Put your money down. Try your luck.
In the next few moments, Big Ralph's luck and his entire future were about to change forever.
How did you do that, Pop?
Guess I'm just lucky.
Yeah, right. Real lucky.
Which one do you want?
The bunny.
I'll take the bunny.
You ever played this game before, Pop? You look awful familiar.
Nope, never played.
Thank you, mister.
The old man decided to reward all the kids who had been cheated by Ralph that day.
You'll never do that again, old man.
But Big Ralph was wrong. The old man would do it again and again and again, all day long. Big Ralph. This kind of thing had never happened to Big Ralph before. The old master swindler was beginning to feel he was being swindled himself, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. Big Ralph was being taken to the cleaners by an old man with an amazing ability for ring toss. And all the time the old man was winning prize after prize, Big Ralph was trying to guess, what's the angle? Who is this guy? Was it somebody from Big Ralph's violent criminal past?
All right, that's it. This booth is closed for repairs. Just what kind of game are you playing, old man?
Ring toss.
Hustle me, you old bag of bones. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. Now you're gonna pay me for those stuffed animals.
Hey, I want those animals fair and square. I don't owe you anything.
Now I want what's coming to me.
Oh, you'll get what's coming to you, Big Ralph.
Who are you, old man?
Just a harmless old man. But you're a cheat. You've been taking advantage of children for years.
Get off these grounds. And if I see you here again, I'll give you a beating you'll never forget.
Hey, Big Ralph! You forgot your ring!
Hey, I've been looking for you. Where you been?
Just taking care of some business. What's up?
You got a car off track inside.
Everything's going wrong today. Come on, you rusted bucket of bolts. That's just great. Get out of my face, you cheap piece of junk. Oh! Ah, my foot! My foot!
Big Ralph, are you okay in there?
What's going on? Some of you stop playing with the sounds. Get this. Oh. Can't be. It just can't be.
Jake, Bobby, I need help, now!
This master's driving me nuts!
You won't shut off, I tried! Oh my God.
And so the old man had the last laugh on Big Ralph, who was now hanged to death by the hoop from the game of ring toss. Who was the mysterious old man? Was he some spirit sent to avenge the wrongful deeds of Big Ralph? Or was Big Ralph done in by some angry employees who were tired of his treachery and hateful ways? But then how do you explain the close resemblance of the old man to the funhouse figure? Was that set up to make an all-too-real crime seem supernatural? Is this tale of the deadly game of ring toss inspired by an actual event? Or have we rigged the game once again?
Next, you'll find out which of our stories are fact and which are fiction when Beyond Belief returns.
Now let's look back at tonight's stories and find out which ones are inspired by actual events and which ones are totally false. The story of the young girl who swallowed a fertilized octopus egg and grew the creature inside her body. True or false?
What about the movement I was feeling?
Oh, that was probably a muscle spasm or some gas.
It wasn't a muscle spasm or gas.
Marissa, the test came back negative. You're not pregnant.
Do you think you've heard a story like this somewhere? Is it true? Only in the world of urban legends. Although this one has been circulated as true, it's fiction. Now let's look at the house with the curse on it. Was this story true?
I finally learned from the neighbors about the curse of Hampton Manor.
Oh, that, really?
Why? Why didn't you tell me about it before you sold it to me?
That was not my responsibility.
Although we changed the name of the house, this story was inspired by an actual event. The story of the wax museum with the deadly exhibit. How did you judge that one?
What was going through your head those last few moments?
Yeah, are you all right?
This eerie tale of the wax exhibit that seems to have a life of its own has to be false, right? Wrong. This one happened in a wax museum in Canada. Our source material spots it around 3 decades ago. Let's review the story of the hospital with a bloodthirsty patient.
What are you doing?
I told you to stay away!
What did you do to him?
There is certainly more than one cult in this country associated with vampire-like activities. Is it possible that one of them participated in our story? Yes. It is possible because our research shows this story happened to a registered nurse on the East Coast about 20 years ago. It's fact. What about the cheating carnival barker who met an ironic fate in his own funhouse?
This booth is closed for repairs.
Just what kind of game are you playing, old man?
Ring toss.
There's a common belief that carnivals employ people with shady or questionable backgrounds. This lends credence to the fact that this story may have happened. But not this time. We made it up. Once again, we've tried to demonstrate that truth and falsehood live side by side. Were you able to separate fact from fiction tonight? Or did you find our conclusions simply beyond belief? I'm Jonathan Frakes.
Join us next week for more Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.